The working astrology of Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and I would bring in Zelensky and Putin with what is currently going on, because I think it's really interesting to look at the astrology of President Trump in relation to these two other world leaders and this interesting relationship he has with Elon Musk. Working relationships and their astrology is this video. So welcome. My name is Lydia Griffith. This is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. On this channel, I often like to read the charts of famous people, sometimes even countries, because I think it helps us to better understand our own lives and our own charts. So, our own astrology. If this speaks to you, please subscribe, hit the bell, and hit like if you like it. I usually put out a couple videos a week. This is not political. I don't have an opinion. It's one of the beauties of astrology. Over time, I really have just gotten to a point where I'm like, life is happening. It's doing what it needs to do. And it's, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing in my life. So this astrology reading is just that. It is not political. I don't have an opinion. And please, for the love of God, any comments you make, keep them positive, keep them kind, and keep them respectful. Thank you. Okay. All right. Because I do want to hear from you. I love your questions, but I don't appreciate slander or picking on people. It's just not nice. All right. So Donald Trump, I have covered so many videos with him. When we are looking at the relationships of people at work, we're looking at your day pillar, which is you, specifically you, and your hour. A lot of times when I'm looking at political figures, I notice that you can't find the time. But in this instance, I was able to. So that's really great. I want to first start by saying all four of these characters in this story that we're telling today have a strong leadership. They are natural leaders. And I'm sure you can guess which one has this in spades. One of these is got so much leadership that it is the astrology of a dictator. You want to guess who that is? Give you a pause. It is Vladimir Putin, because he is born in the year of the dragon and the hour of the dragon, and has a life pillar in the dragon, of the dragon. So it's two dragons plus a behind the scenes dragon. He is a very smart man, but he has a volatile emotions. He can be aloof, self-centered, and most definitely a leader to excess. So let's start there. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. It's an interesting thing. All right, so Donald Trump is born on the day of the yin earth sheep. The interesting thing is the United States, the video I put out earlier, or maybe after this, whichever one comes first this week, the United States is yin earth. And so that's a similar thing, except that Donald Trump is kind of the enemy of the ox, which is the day pillar of the United States. They are in opposition. They are in conflict. They are not in accord. I'll give you a moment to process that. For a reference, if you're interested, not political, just astrology, Biden is an ox day. And so he was more like a mirror of the United States. I'm going to give you a little bit, well, I'll just say it, that what he was mirroring, look at his condition when he left office. Old, tired, worn out. And in a lot of ways, a lot of the systems of our country, healthcare, education, on and on and on, antiquated, old, falling apart. In comes a president who is the enemy of the ox, the sheep, and they're butting heads. They're going to butt heads. They're going to bust shit open. And they're going to bust things down. But that was that other video. So let's not do that same video twice. No. So yes, we have the sheep of his day and the snake for his hour. Okay. Now, traditionally, the sheep really is all about peacekeeping and is a very peaceful person. Think Johnny Depp. Think Bruce Willis. These are, in their day-to-day life, they've been pretty peaceful people, I think. They're also very creative, innovative. Often they have artistic talent, especially musical. And I think that is kind of the art of the deal, right? That is Trump's take on his creative verve is more around money and around the creation of opportunity, making things, making buildings, making businesses, making deals. His snake hour this year, 2025, is being challenged. It is being challenged. There is competition here. And it is all about government. That is his hour. It's almost like he is destined. Now, the yin earth of his hour speaks of someone who brings themselves to the table of his work. And because he is so about all himself, he is 53% or more of his own element earth, and fire over 40%. So that 95% of his chart is about him, and who supports him, who backs him, and how he is the programs that back him, the systems that back him, okay? And, wow. All I can say is wow, right? This is so fascinating to me. He was really destined. Like if you gave me this chart and said, tell me what career this person would have, I would say lawyer. I know, funny. Developer, land developer, which is, he did that. And it is also somebody that is destined to work in government. Tucked inside the snake, which is being kind of busted open or being revealed, is a revolution of change, innovation, doing things very differently. And him playing a different role. So it's almost like there is this alter ego under the surface that is being illuminated right now. Okay. His alter ego, if you will. And then, so that's his career. All that to say, that's Trump's career, President Trump's career. Now, I want to just jump over real quick to the luck cycle he's in that I talked about when it was happening, which was November 2023, when all of these lawsuits were going on, right? This luck cycle, 2023 to 2033, and I do not think he will live through this luck cycle. His chart is so hot and dry. There is such imbalance here. And it's a very special chart. And again, I'm not going to get into all the mechanics of it, but there is a lot in his chart that is fueling this fire. The interactions of his zodiac animals fueling this fire. And now he is in a tiger luck cycle that forms a second fire trio. He now has a full traditional fire trio and a seasonal fire trio. He is on fire. And this is not like, you're on fire, man, you're making it happen. Not like that. It's internal. It can show up as inflammation. It can show up as heart disease that leads to a stroke, for instance. It can lead to mental health issues. Everything that you can think of related to health with the fire element. Circulation, okay? So this period of his life highlights his marriage, his ability to be successful, to have wealth, to have wealth, property, movement, moving house, like moving into the White House. And the tiger speaks of his career, his responsibilities, his family, and his daughters. Tucked inside the tiger is government, politics, and him playing a different role. The problem with the tiger that many of you now probably have figured out is the tiger with his hour of the snake compounded by this year of the snake forms a semi-fire penalty that speaks to lawsuits, all kinds of legal engagement, being sued, suing other people, loss of money, loss of reputation, loss of health, death even, all kinds of things, accidents, divorce, relationship problems, everything. It is your life, so many components of it. And I have spoken to, the way to work with it is to take this year, like if this were a client of mine, I would say this is a call for you to simplify life, get more into your spiritual world, into a quieter, less active world. And for somebody, 78 years old, this is the time of the waning of the energy force, right? So we have all that. Then here comes Elon Musk. A lot of people are saying, who the hell is Elon Musk? What is he doing in the White House, in the Oval Office, at the Resolute table with his 4-year-old son, putting boogers on it? Lot happening there, right? And Elon Musk, just looking at these two pieces, your day and hour, Yang Wood monkey is his day. Now you put a monkey and a sheep together. This is real innovation. The sheep is very creative and innovative, and the monkey is as well, but the monkey also kind of takes it a step further. The monkey kind of comes in with like Avalokiteshvara, 5,000 arms, got his hands in 1,000 different things. He cannot be still. He is all over the place, right? But together, they really make a good pairing. When you look at the day, the hour, that's where things get weird. Because the snake and the rabbit are very discerning, and there's a lot going on with negotiation. The snake tends to be more behind the scenes, watching and seeing what's going on to figure things out. And the rabbit is the one that moves forward with a little extended fuzzy paw saying, hey, can we just get along? I want to harmonize. I want to find a way to negotiate to make this work, right? And his hour, Elon Musk's hour, is all about yin fire. Rabbit is that yin fire for his yang wood day is all about innovation and change. The kind of person that takes his nuance and intelligence and intuition, his gut instinct, and goes after creating things in his job that have never been done before. He goes down the road less traveled. And the yin wood of the rabbit says, I want to play different roles. I want to play different roles. I don't want to be static. I also want to mention that Elon Musk has a void in his hour. And when you have a void in your hour, it shows changeability and instability in your career. So it really does, it's like SpaceX or X. He loves the letter X. I don't know. It's his favorite letter. Let's go to Sesame Street today. The letter of today is X. And for Elon, the year 2025, the snake hits his day. Now, remember, it's hitting President Trump's hour, illuminating that which is hidden. And for Elon, this is personal, this penalty against him. You've got women having his babies, calling foul, get my kid out of the Oval Office, all these things, right? And so this penalty is affecting him on a personal level. And that shit really came full fire penalty in the month of the tiger in February. And you look at how that played out, right? And maybe when you become a billionaire, all the shit that's coming back at you when you throw it at the fan of the United States of America and it all comes spraying back at you, I don't think he cares. The snake is talking about action, and he is loving it. He is all in it. It is a year of him taking. It's almost like he's taking this energy of this year and using it to his benefit. And it talks about a change in his career. The yin wood sitting atop the snake is all about him playing a starkly different role in his life this year, you think. And he's really active, really engaged, and enjoying that. And enjoying, tucked under the snake, what's being broken open with the monkey is this change in his career. The patriarchy, money, like hidden money, money that he is finding, for himself. It also speaks of romance, love affairs, affairs in general, like infidelity, and hidden health issues. Nobody's talked about that. How healthy is this dude? I mean, I know he's younger, but, you know. All right, so that's Elon Musk. And if you ask me, these two, this really feels like a very innovative, creative collaboration with these two. And like I was saying, you know, Elon is so much younger that I think in some ways it's almost easier, right, for Trump to just say, here, can you stand up and deliver this? You know, it's almost like he's delegating. And he's got a second vice president in a way. Another piece to Elon Musk before we move on, because I think Zelensky and Putin are important right now, is that his current luck cycle is a yin earth ox. And it is all about, and this is from 2018 to 2028. So he's kind of in the middle to the wrapping up of this luck cycle in a way. This is all about the women in his life. He's got a few. It is about wealth and the accumulation of wealth. That is it. That is it. The accumulation of wealth and property. An amassing of a fortune. If I saw this and this was your luck cycle, I would say, oh my God, you are coming into great wealth and success. What are you doing to open the path to that happening and actualizing, right? You don't want to sabotage your own good astrology. Wow. For sure. For sure. There's just a lot of money. And there's also the mention of politics and government tucked into this, and his career, family responsibilities. That is his current luck cycle. But the biggest piece, the women in his life, wealth, success, big success, big success. And if you're curious, his five elements are far more balanced than Trump's. And maybe that's something that's soothing to Trump, having somebody that's a little more grounded. So Elon Musk has a strong 35% of his own wood element and a weak amount of water nourishing him, only 10%. And then the fire, what he creates, very balanced at 27% fire, right? And you look at where we're going next year, Yang fire horse, double fire is going to be huge action-oriented year for him. The earth element is weak. So actually working in politics fuels that weak element. And what is earth for somebody that is a wood person? It is their manifesting of wealth. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. So it is important that the career you have stimulates an element that is needed in order for you to achieve success. All right. The metal element, his career is balanced at 15%. All right. We're going to now jump over to Vladimir Putin. This is the signature of a dictator. This guy is very, very smart, super intelligent. He has been recognized and lauded for all of his successes along the way. And recognized, right? Good or bad. So this is a dog day, right? The dog forms a semi-earth penalty with Trump's sheep. And this is kind of like two mountains. No, it's a mountain and a desert, right? So we've got yang earth to his yin earth. This speaks of relationships that cause undue stress, like the kind of stress that makes you sick. His hour is the dragon. The dragon and the snake, ooh, those two can work together. And Vladimir Putin, born on the day of a fire dog, this guy is about justice and fighting for what he believes in, okay? And his hour of the dragon is all about being a leader. And it is a yang water dragon, specific to his chart as a yang fire person. This is somebody that is in his job. It is like the oppressor. It is the one that is like the enemy at the gate. He's a leader that challenges people, criticizes, judges, oppresses. Then the dragon itself is about taking action that he enjoys his work. He enjoys what he's doing. And tucked inside the dragon is his job in government. It speaks of his work, and it speaks of his responsibilities and his duties. Last year was the year of the dog, which was battling his chart really hard, breaking open his responsibilities. How is he doing his work? How is he showing up? How is he honoring his responsibilities and his role in government? Being challenged. Now, so 2024 brought in another dragon, and all of this was just like at a fever pitch for him. Pretty intense year, 2024. 2025, yin wood for him, for Putin, this year is all about government. It is all about the role he is playing in government. And the snake is himself and who he is allied with. Who are his allies? Where are his alliances? Where is his support? Where are his people? And it speaks of the patriarchy, the dominance of patriarchal rule, and hidden health issues. And also, to some measure, enjoying the things he's doing, being active, being engaged. And the working relationship with Trump and Putin, if you ask me, there's a lot of just appreciating each other's innovative ways of looking at things and that being the pulse of how you do your work. That innovative, creative, out-of-the-box thinking. And whatever Putin might say about Trump in public, I think there is something with these two that they admire in each other. They may not like each other, but I think they admire each other. Okay? Now, Zelensky. This is very different. Very different. Astrology. Makes me a little sad to see this because Zelensky has arrived at a year that is emphasizing the conflict that's in his chart already. He is born in the year of a yin fire snake and the day of yin fire pig. It's interesting if you have a chart where your year and your day are in conflict. It shows somebody who is forever in their life self-conflicted. They start something, I don't think that's my right path. Maybe I'll try this, that's not the right thing. Maybe I'll try that. But it can also be a very internalized conflict. Self-doubt could be a manifestation, right? And Zelensky, his day of the pig in relation to Trump is kind of interesting because on the one hand, like if they were friends, you could see them getting along with each other. One is very creative and peace-loving, ideally, unless you're in the shadow side. And I've talked about the shadow of astrology, and I think that Donald Trump dances in a lot of shadow because that is what he was raised in, shadow astrology. That in of itself is a whole nother thing to explore, isn't it? So Zelensky, the pig, everybody gets along with. Everybody admires them. They are easygoing. They live off the comforts of life, and they don't really like confrontation. This isn't really the signature for somebody that I would say, yeah, this looks like a leader. He does have, though, leadership qualities to him, and he is a strong leader. You know, he comes in second. Musk and Trump both have leadership qualities. Putin has it in steroids. Zelensky has it strongly as well. But I think Zelensky's approach is far more peaceful, friendly, doesn't ruffle feathers. Like he wants to be the people's president kind of thing, right? It feels a lot more harmonious, and he's born in the hour of the sheep, which is very much about somebody that comes in to create. He was a comedian, what probably feels like 1,000 years and a different lifetime ago for him. It's somebody that's creative. And it's somebody that wants to create peace, unless you're in the shadow, okay? And so it's an interesting thing when you're looking at how Trump looks at Zelensky, all right? That relationship. And I think that there is a measure of taking advantage of this, of his astrology. This softness in him, okay? Because Zelensky's chart is too yin. He is very much in the divine feminine. Strangely, like Bobby Kennedy Jr. is very much in the divine feminine. And people that I notice this with men that are in the divine feminine tend to live very, like, have a close alliance with Mother Earth and are very interested in the environment and about how we nourish ourselves in all ways. So when we look at Zelensky's hour, it speaks of him showing up as himself and his audience, his supporters, his allies, and that he enjoys all that he is doing in his work, that it is something that brings him pleasure, that motivates him. Tucked inside of that is, again, his allies and his sense of self, independent and sovereign. And his faith, what inspires him, what he has to learn through his work. Interesting, right? Very different. How this guy wound up in politics and governing Ukraine is very interesting to me. Now, 2024, he moved into a Yang Earth Monkey luck cycle that speaks of a revolution, of massive radical change. And it speaks of success, money, marriage, property, his work, his responsibilities and his duties. But this 10 years for him is about radical, innovative change. The monkey with the snake is creating a semi-fire penalty. The snake, the enemy, is at the gate of his sovereign self, the pig. Now, yes, he is born in the year of the snake. Yes, this self-conflictedness is there. But the snake also is a signature that shows a blade. I talked about this in Frida Kahlo's chart. The blade is like a hidden enemy, okay? The snake coming at him personally. This isn't about Ukraine at all. It's about removing the person that is in the way, right? And so, and just with all those things. I'm trying to be careful here. This is not good for him. I do not see this being anything other than a bit of a disaster for Zelensky and Ukraine this year. And I'm pretty sure I talked about that in the last video that I did about Ukraine and these wars going into 2025. So when you look at how we are working with these people in our careers, do you see now how important astrology is in understanding why we might be attracted to working with somebody, and also the how we work with that person? And is it something where we're taking advantage of them, playing off of them, or able to work together to innovate some really radical stuff going on? I hope that this has been an interesting video for you. And again, please keep your comments kind and respectful. I so appreciate you watching. And until next time, friends, please be well.